Hi. It's a Wednesday and I am live as usual. So I'm back on this beautiful Wednesday, and I really hope that wherever you are having a wonderful time and your midweek is pretty productive. You are able to see your goals being met, all the targets that you set during the week. I hope that that is going according to your plans, and really you are proud of yourself that as you move on and continue with what you are doing, you are able to identify all the small strides that you are taking, all the small achievements that you are making, because that really makes a huge difference. So today I want to talk about a little bit about self-esteem. Well, as you would know, maybe or maybe not, but my book called Make Up Your Mind, Building Self-Confidence so that we can reach our dreams, so that you can reach your dreams. And so the book is obviously about self-confidence. It's something that I'm passionate about. And so really, I felt that today I should talk a little bit about that. And so what better day to actually do that other than today, right? And so I will start. And so how do we then enhance our self-esteem? How do we feel better about who we are? How do we feel good? And so the first thing that I want to share with you that one can do is to focus more on the present. So that means that when you focus more on the present, you are more aware of what is currently taking place, and you know that what has happened really doesn't matter much, or it does matter, but it's not going to hold you back. And so when I talk about what has happened, I'm referring to all those uncomfortable situations that tend to take place in all our lives, because all of us have gone through experiences that are unpleasant, and generally we hold on to those experiences. And when we do that, it means that we do not move forward in our lives, because we at that point claim that because that happened, whatever it is, whatever your that is, because that happened, therefore I cannot move on because I still need to maybe settle scores. This still needs to be sorted out first. And I will tell you one thing, and that is, whatever has happened, we do not discredit, but always say is, let's not focus so much on that because it has already happened. What we need to do rather is to ask ourselves the question as to, how did I benefit from that experience? What has it taught me? And once we start looking at things from that perspective, then we start moving forward. The second thing that you can do, that we can do, all of us, is to start building our knowledge, or even I could say building our competency. And how do we do that? And why should we do that? And so when we start to build our knowledge, our competence, welcome. Once we start building our knowledge, we start to become more comfortable in who we are. And so how do we do that? So we do that through reading, studying, and that is in the educational form. and when I talk about educational, perhaps I could actually what I mean is that one could actually enroll as a student in an institution, or the other way is that we have multiple resources that are available out there for us. I mean, the internet is one of them. It's freely available. It's at our fingertips. You know, we can access it with ease. It's right there. And so we can go through the internet just to learn and equip ourselves with the knowledge that we need. And also that will come with understanding that we don't know enough. Because once we understand that and know that we actually don't know anything, then we become more eager to learn. And so one can enroll, one can actually go through the internet, can go through books at the library. Magazines are good enough, newspapers, but okay, newspapers, me and newspapers. I don't know what you know about me, but I always say I do not, and this is conscious, I don't watch news. I don't read newspapers unless it so happens that certain information is just brought to me in some way. However, I don't go out of my way doing that. And that's a story for another day. If you don't know it, one day I'll share it again. However, that's how you can equip yourself with knowledge and competency, study, and get your diploma or whatever it is, your certification, whatever. And the third thing, and there's so many things to do. However, the third thing, today I'm only sharing 5. And the third thing that one can do is do something that you have been putting on hold. So what is it for you? Because we usually put things on hold. We procrastinate. We know that there's things that we want to do, but for some reason, we find all the different justifications as to why we should not do that. And so if you know that deep down within you there's something that you've been wanting to do, go for that. Do it. Because when you do it, you start to realize your greatness. You start to grow within yourself. Your confidence starts to build up. Because just that one action of moving towards something that you've been wanting to do, that you've been postponing, makes a world of difference. Now, I can tell you that you may know, you may not know that I have a YouTube channel, and that story I've shared of how long it took for me to actually get out there and start recording my YouTube videos, because the whole thing to me was very daunting. It took me a while to eventually do it because I needed to then tell myself a whole lot of things, and among those was that I don't have to be perfect, because I was concerned about I'm not good enough. There's been people who have been doing this for a while, and I'm new, nobody knows me, and I needed to tell myself that for starters, I don't have to be perfect. I'm good enough as I am. In time, I will get the people that need to follow me. I do not lack. I don't have to feel that there's pressure for me to have people. In good time, everything will happen. And so I started it, and this sense of accomplishment that I felt when I did my first video was just beyond words. And so the more I moved on, the more I did videos, the more I became comfortable, and the more I built on my confidence. So the fourth thing that I want to share is that you need to practice gratitude. Now, you possibly know that almost everything that I share, I mention gratitude, because for me, it's just the centerpiece of everything. It just makes everything make sense. Gratitude gives us an element of calm. Gratitude is very grounding, and I usually say that gratitude makes me feel very humane, humble, hence I said grounded. I feel grounded when it comes to gratitude, because it makes me realize that there is just so much that I've been blessed with. Gratitude makes me realize that yes, I'm blessed, but also gratitude keeps me in check in terms of as I am a co-creator with God, but I'm not the only creator. And it makes me realize that without that understanding, honestly, I'm incapable of doing so many things. And therefore, I need that to ground me. I need that to actually bring me back, yes, to that. Of course, it is appreciation of everything that takes place in my life. The fifth thing that I want to share is speaking positive words to yourself. And so I am a strong believer in that if we lack good things to say to ourselves about ourselves, we completely fail to acknowledge most good things that are out there. So you need to appreciate yourself more. Start acknowledging that I am actually good at that. You may have noticed that it's very easy to speak negative compared to speaking positive things towards ourselves. You probably have felt it before. Like, I know that most times the simplest thing that comes to mind when one has a question about themselves or they need to do something or focus on something is actually more on the negative. And when that happens, it's also natural that we don't easily, yes, we do find positive in other people, but when we struggle to find good in ourselves, it's so easy to find it hard to see any good in other people. And so once we start understanding the importance of speaking positive words to ourselves, then it becomes a pretty natural process to actually share positivity with other people and see the good in them. It was last year, and I truly understand, but just to illustrate how easy it is to be negative than positive, at some point last year, asked someone a question about me. And when I asked the question, I was specific as to, okay, so just focus on the positive, because I knew that naturally we just simply go to the negative, and for some people, of course. And so I highlighted that do focus on the positive, and I explained why I actually said that. And so despite the fact that the person actually said all these good things, but they shifted all of them, They said that you can do this, but had to find the negative. But because I am where I am, in terms of my consciousness and, my awareness, and just where I am, perhaps emotionally. I wasn't offended. I could fully understand. Hence I said that I was specific as to be positive, because I knew that it's possible that the person might start with the negative things. And so with that, we need to understand that once we enhance and start building that positivity within ourselves, then it becomes a bit easier to be kinder when we speak to the next person, and speak it with sincerity as well. And so I'm now reaching the last point that I want to share about enhancing our self-esteem. And this one is, and also, okay, so let me go back to the last point as well that I made about speaking good words to ourselves, being positive, being affirming towards ourselves. And that is, when we affirm ourselves, we start to release the dependency on other people. For instance, when we cannot affirm ourselves, when we struggle to see the good that is in us, we sometimes expect it from other people. We expect other people to be the ones affirming us. That can be good, but if you're dependent on it, it becomes an issue, because once those people don't feed the need that you have, then you start to get frustrated. And so it's important to be able to affirm yourself first, because you don't become hungry. You don't become that person who's searching for somebody to affirm them, because you are content within yourself. You are able to affirm yourself, and you are able to be completely comfortable without yourself. And that means without anyone doing it for you, to you. And also that means that it also ends up in you also appreciating, because once you start appreciating yourself, here's a ripple effect. You are able to embrace somebody else who actually gives you a compliment. Yes. When you are able to affirm yourself and you are comfortable within yourself, you become very accepting and comfortable with compliments. And this actually reminds me of myself when I had my own issues with self-confidence and self-esteem. When someone would compliment me, I tended to be very suspicious that, but what do you mean? What does this person want from me? Because I wasn't assured within myself. And so it's really important to be able to understand that once you start affirming yourself, trusting yourself, believing in yourself, then what comes from the other person is accepted in a different light. It's accepted in a different way, which is more warmer, more welcoming, and it's pure, it's easy, it's not suspicious. It's just there, it's calming, and it's beautiful. And so before I get confused, so the last point that I want to share is you need to know what makes you feel good. You need to know, you need to know what makes you feel good. When you know the things that make you feel good, when you've got this understanding and awareness of the things that make you feel good, it's easier to draw more into them. And therefore, you move towards what makes you feel good instead of not. And that is applicable to people as well. And so, who makes you feel good? Because the idea here is that when people make you feel good, you are likely to push yourself. You are likely to do what is good for yourself. You are likely to be happier within yourself. However, if you find yourself in positions where you are surrounded by all the things and people that do not give you this sense of fulfillment, the sense of goodness that you need. And remember, it always starts with you, but you need to identify the external things that may impact on your growth. And therefore, as I've already addressed that things, it's really important, but also we need to look at people. The people that surround you, are they making you feel good? Or are they making you feel horrible? Because if you don't feel welcome in an environment, the chances of thriving and being your best self, your authentic self, are minimal. Not everybody has that ability. And now I'm referring to people that are lacking the self-esteem, that want to build their self-esteem. Because once you haven't built that strength within yourself, it becomes a bit tricky or a bit hard to really express who you are and say no to things that you want to say no to, because you're still not comfortable within yourself. However, that's why it's important for you to then start distancing yourself from the things and people that make you feel that you need to be somebody else, or you need to be completely different. You need to be whatever else that you really are not. You need to distance yourself from things and people that do not make you feel good. Focus more and draw closer to things and people that make you comfortable within who you are. And with that, I have reached the end of the session. And I don't even think I introduced myself, but hey, my name is Coach Imitha. My name is Imitha Kobaba, and I'm a life coach. I'm a life and confidence coach. And I'm also an author of 2 books. One is Rock Your Year with 31 Daily Affirmations. And the second book is Make Up Your Mind, Building Self-Confidence to Reach Your Dreams. And both the books are available on Amazon. And also, I feature on radio on Sundays at 5:30. I will leave a link for the radio station so that if you can listen in. And also, if you want to get hold of me for sessions, one-on-one sessions, group sessions, I've got group sessions. Also, do make contact with me. I would love hearing from you. And also, I love working with people. I love what I do. I love helping people realize their potential and make sure that they work for them, making sure that they work towards what they've always dreamt of. And so with that said, always remember, you are amazing. You are powerful. You are powerful. You are powerful. You are powerful. And you can achieve anything you set your mind to. Anything that you want, you can get. With that said, I will see you very soon. And it's always a pleasure having you around. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Cheers.